Hello, everyone.
Hi, hello.
Hey, Chris, before I forget, I managed, hey, Francesca, I managed to get time to look at the hospital paper and then you wouldn't let me in. Please let me in.
Oh, mate, I'm just sorting my internet out. It's being really slow. Can you say that? Can you say that
Yeah.
again, Helen?
I finally managed to get time to go through the hospital paper again, but I think I don't have access to the new doc. Please give me access to the doc. If you want my comments, obviously. If not, then that's fine. But
How do I give you access? That's what I've got to work out.
I can send the request again.
Yeah, I've not had a notification that you sent a request, but well, it'll go to my Gmail account. That's why. Oh, so many email addresses. Oh yeah, I see. Yes. Right. This. All right. Is it working?
I just sent you a second one. I'm not spamming you. Sorry.
See, I've tried the other one.
Hello.
Hello.
It's in the power now. Thank you, Chris.
Cool. There you go. The power's yours. Use it wisely.
I'm just eating my lunch, so I'll keep my video off. Okay. Yeah, probably we don't need that much time today. I've been working on the manuscript since yesterday. I've been able to resolve most of the comments. There are still a few left, and I've also started a bit with shortening, but there is still, I think, room to make it more concise. So I'll work on that still a bit, and then I will send it, hopefully this weekend to Hans. And actually, I also, last week I sent it to Viola Priesemann, but she replied that she actually didn't really have time to do it. So she gave me a few comments, but she didn't have time to go through the whole manuscript. So if we still want anybody else to read it, we should maybe think of some other people. But I also think it's maybe not really necessary because we don't want to change that much anymore, except maybe trying to make it shorter. So I would say we send it to Hans and see what he has to say, and then and then we submit.
I finished reading.
Okay, so if you still have more comments, send it to.
One little comment, but basically I wouldn't circulate anything more because there were basically nothing valuable to add. The only thing is that things it's a small comment, but because things have been explained so well and they are so precise, then I feel like there is a need to mention that. It's I've lost it now. It's since when we talk about masks, 7, challenge 7.
Section 7?
Sorry?
Section 7 or?
Section 7, page 15. Sorry, 2 paragraphs before section 7, there is between country comparison, often receives significant backlash from politicians, and I would add and the media, personally.
Backlash from politicians and the media.
Yeah, if people agree, but that would be one of my comments. And the second one, which is probably slightly more touchy, fourth line of section 7. It says, for example, third line, it says, for example, mask wearing is considered a moderately effective MPI, requiring minimal upfront cost from mask users and having minimal impact on day-to-day activities. That is true, but in general, but multiple times I've heard Ian Hall and other people working more on the social care working group it can be extremely disruptive for certain people, like deaf people that rely on lip reading.
Oh yeah.
They find mask wearing particularly problematic. So it can be costly, but in a small proportion of people, that's the only comment, really. Just to be, it's a minor detail, but because we're so precise on everything, then we might as well just add the fact that for some people it can be very costly. That's all.
I'm not sure whether we have to take into account such, I mean, you can make these kind of remarks in a lot of places.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure whether this is really something that we want to put in. I'll make a remark now and think about it.
You could just maybe, where you've got having minimal impact on day-to-day activities, you could just add for most users or something.
Exactly,
I mean,
that's all I was after.
That might, you know, it's 3 words and it just sort of covers it, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I wasn't thinking of anything more. It's just that the UK is very PC.
Yeah, I know. We have to be politically correct in everything.
I know.
But yeah, so we should see whether we mentioned enough the interests of women, Black people, and other minorities.
Oh, there was one thing. I don't know if you remember, I rewrote the abstract a week or 2 back.
Yeah.
And that isn't actually in.
I did put it in now, Valerie.
Right. Yeah, that's what I assumed you would.
Yeah.
And obviously I don't mind either way. It was just a suggestion, but anyway, yeah, that's great.
It is in because I think it's very good and everybody was very positive about it. So I just replaced the old one with.
That's fine. Yeah.
And I also took Francesca's latest version of the figure. So I can send you, I mean, if you want, I can send you the latest version of the manuscript maybe tonight. But I wanted to send it when I'm done with all the comments so that you get kind of a clean version.
I think that will be good.
So I think I'll send it at the same time I send it to Hans, and then I'll upload it also on the Dropbox. And then you can see whether you still care to make more comments or not. What I would like to have from everybody still is information on your affiliations, and possibly if I have to mention any funding, you know, project numbers and that kind of stuff. And I now switched the authors into alphabetical order, except myself. Valerie, do you want to be a co-author as well, or?
No, I mean, I haven't done any writing, Miriam, so
you wrote the abstract.
I'm very happy not to be.
Okay.
No. I think with all these papers, we've been trying to make helpful comments, but no, I haven't been involved in this one in writing anything, so I don't think it's appropriate.
Okay, I hope I
don't think the abstract counts. So.
Well.
The abstract was very good, though.
I was just about to say that you
one
wrote the
paragraph. I don't think so.
Yeah, but it's not quantity; it's the quality.
It's the one paragraph that everyone will read.
Yeah, that's true.
Can somebody? I was looking again at Francesca's diagram, which is great, and I know we talked about this last time, and having all the outside arrows going in both directions. But to what extent does parameter estimation and model fitting lead back to theoretical framework? I wasn't totally sure why we'd got a double arrow there. But I know we decided this last time that I've just forgotten.
Yeah, let's say,
Yeah,
let's
I
say,
said I was supposed to think at what to put in the 2 different arrows, but I was a bit in trouble. I couldn't really find a good idea.
well, actually, let's say my experience, I don't have a lot of experience with model fitting, but the experience I have is that, if you see that the model doesn't fit the data, then you try to think about what kind of structural characteristics did you miss in your model? Do you need any other essential elements that you have to take into account? And then maybe you kind of extend your model, or you put in other things into your framework. So in that sense, I think there is also some feedback.
Yeah,
so
I think there's a feedback. I guess it depends what you think of as framework as meaning. To me, it was a bit sort of higher level than the sort of nitty gritty of the detailed model being used. But
that's true, of course. But
I don't know. Anyway, I just wondered.
I mean, your model structure will determine the identifiability of certain parameters and the sensitivity that you get out from it, right? So if you're looking to just estimate one parameter, perhaps you have more flexibility than if you're trying to estimate a whole slew that are related, right? But maybe that's again more technical.
I think there's very clear backwards and forwards between model structure and the fitting estimation thing. It's just a question of whether that's actually what you had in mind in talking about theoretical framework, because I think I was thinking of it as more in terms of the whole sort of toolbox, if you like, of potential model structures and so on.
Yeah, that's what we meant, of course, by theoretical framework. So you're right, but still, I think maybe we could add another, let's say, a piece of text here, light blue, that explains this, the way fitting can change model structure.
Yeah, I mean, and one of the things we have sort of in the first paragraph of the theoretical framework section is we talk about gamma distributed Sojourn times and introducing chains of compartments, which is sort of a, you do your parameter estimation, you work out what gamma distribution you're going to get to fit A to B, then that feeds into your model structure.
I've shortened that part a bit, actually.
Okay.
But it's still there. Okay, Valerie, you still sent me this email about
it was just as we're beginning to get comments back from Hans on various papers, there is this sort of tension, I suppose, in all the papers between reviewing what's happened and using that as a springboard to suggest challenges. And I think there's just a question of, it's something that he's picking up. And I think we need to try, and the papers are getting long. They're not meant to be review papers. So I think, where possible, one needs to make sure that one's only putting in the current context for the challenges rather than a lot of review stuff. And I just thought that, Dennis and I talked yesterday, but while you were still at that stage, it was worth just sort of reinforcing rather than it coming back from Hans later. So
yeah. On the other hand, I mean, is Hans the kind of editor?
No, he's not. No, we're just getting advice from him.
Okay.
So no, he's not. And obviously, it's a matter of everybody's judgment as to. I mean, the papers will go to referees, and ultimately, it's going to be a large amount is going to be based on what the referees say.
And do you think our paper is longer than
It is longer, yes. I mean, I
longer.
think this is difficult. I mean, we knew this one was going to be a long one because
Mhm.
there's so much to get in.
Yeah.
And which was why we tried to sort of split it up and separate out, you know, intervention, NPIs from vaccination, really, to try and
Mhm.
separate it. But in the event, it hasn't quite worked like that. So I think there's more in here. I mean, there is a lot of material, so it's obviously going to be on the long side. But where possible, it would be good to really to focus on the challenges.
Mhm.
And also we need to look for overlaps with other papers a bit too.
Yeah.
But hopefully, you know, the people who are involved in more than one paper can make sure that stuff isn't getting repeated.
Mhm.
Well, it is. Like, definitely with the data and the estimation paper. Maybe less so in the estimation paper because it's very, very uncertainty quantification focused. But with the data, there is a bit of repetition in the sort of data and the fact that, like, I don't know, early data is scarce. You need to kind of get important stuff out of it. But the point is that you need to repeat some of, especially like the background thing. If you want to make a point, you need to kind of say something about things before making.
Well, I think we hoped and still hope that because the different papers will be coming from different perspectives, that even if it were touching on the same point, it would be presenting it from a slightly different angle. And so there would be different things to say.
Yes.
I think the real thing is to make sure that one's not just repeating the same points in the same way.
No. I think the angle is different.
Yeah, I think that's, I mean, it's inevitable that one's going to touch on data in the estimation paper, well, data everywhere, really, and so on. And as long as the perspective is different, hopefully it will be okay.
Yeah, I was very careful with the estimation paper, so the two data sections here and there are very distinct, but I can't comment about any of the other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can look at it still and maybe, try to make sure that the link to the interventions is made clear in every, let's say.
Yeah.
Subset.
I think that's the focus, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay, from my side, I don't really have much to talk about now because, I think I will just finish this process of working through these comments, and then I will send around the manuscript as it is then. And then, let's say, while Hans has it, and maybe how much time should we give him to read it? 2 weeks?
I think that's he's been pretty efficient so far. I mean, obviously it comes and goes a bit. If he has a really busy week, then doesn't. But mostly they're coming back fairly quickly. Within a couple of weeks, I would think would be fine. I would guess.
Yeah. So
I don't
in
know.
that same period of time, you all can also, of course, still read it again, and maybe if there are more suggestions or comments, send them to me, so that we can then at the end, so at the moment we get it back to Hans, we can then make the final version that we are going to submit. So that would be then in.
Sounds good. So would you suggest we meet in 2 weeks' time?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I mean, next week is anyway a holiday here. Well, not the Friday, but the Thursday. So everybody is off on Friday as well.
Sure.
So in 2 weeks would be good. Although, let me check. I just remember that I'm teaching a course in that week. So probably let's see, yeah, I have to look at the course schedule, whether I actually have time at 3.
We're talking about Friday the 21st, aren't we?
Yeah, yeah, that's the final afternoon of this course. No, I have the final meeting of this course from 3 to 4. So I can't. I can only make it an hour later. So let's say at 4 for my time. So 3
3 o'clock
p.m.
UK.
UK time. Would that be okay for you?
It's fine for me, I think. I don't know about others.
Repeat the exact date. You mentioned a few dates, a few
So I
times.
think we're talking about the 21st.
Yeah, we're talking about Friday the 21st of May.
Time.
Yeah, on that day, I at the usual time, like 3 p.m. for me, 2 p.m. for the UK. That's not possible for me on that afternoon because I have this course. So, but I could meet an hour later
Okay.
if that's okay for you all.
Yep.
So it's 3 p.m. UK time.
Yeah.
That's great if that's all right for you. Does that give you enough
Yep.
time to finish your teaching?
Yeah, it should be enough. Now we have this, it's an hour of kind of feedback of the course. I don't think it will take more than an hour. I mean, otherwise, we should meet, oh no, the week after I also have something already. Yeah, so.
Well,
let's-
perhaps if we pencil that one in for now, and then see when you get something back from Hans, and then maybe decide then.
Okay.
Would that be?
That's okay. Although, I mean, the Friday afterwards, the 28th, I can't make it at all because then
Right.
I have a kind of symposium the whole afternoon.
But if we get a reply from Hans in the next 2 weeks so that there's something to discuss on the 21st, then maybe we don't need one on the 28th. Maybe we need a,
Yeah.
you know,
Okay.
depending on the feedback and what needs to be done and so on and so forth. So
Yeah, okay. Let's just plan it that way. I mean, if it somehow doesn't work or isn't practical, then we have to somehow find a different solution at that time.
yeah, I think we could fix something on the 21st, depending on what seems necessary to fit round the following week or whenever.
And can we use the same link then at that time?
Yeah, the link that we're using, it can be used anytime, 24 hours a day.
Okay.
So, I mean, there are basically just the 2 links. There's the one we're using, which takes a recording, and there's another one which doesn't. So if we carry on with this, it should be fine.
Okay. Okay, let's do it. Then we meet again on the 21st at 3 p.m. UK time.
That's great. Okay.
Okay, are there any other things from you that you want to ask or say or suggest?
No, can an email be sent to remind us of that if and when Hans responds? It's all conditional.
Yeah,
on
of
Hans
course.
response.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Either on the Slack or by email, probably by email.
Yeah, email. I hardly ever look into the Slack channel.
Yeah.
So I'll email it.
Thank you.
Maybe to avoid having more versions of the draft going around, just have a separate document where everyone puts their names and affiliations, funding, and maybe the ORCID, just to have it all in one place.
Okay, great suggestion. Can you make one and put it on the Dropbox?
I'm having a lot of Dropbox issues at the
Oh,
moment.
okay.
So I would love to, but I could barely upload the document with my
Okay.
comments, so I don't think I should be responsible for that.
Okay.
I could do that if it's just saving a document in the Dropbox folder. And if you don't see it after this afternoon, assume something's gone wrong and let me know.
Yeah, okay. If I don't see it by tomorrow, I'll put one in. And just put in your name, affiliation that you want to have on the paper, and possibly funding information that should go into the acknowledgement. And ORCID number is also useful, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Liz. Just quick tip, either the 3 days open time or the contact tracing, household contact tracing should have pretty much all of the information, with the only exception that Chris is still missing the MFT secondment. Over.
Okay. Yeah, I can try and add yours as well. But yeah, I don't know everyone else's, so I'll assume that other people can add that in, but I'll just make a table and.
Yeah, I mean, on this call, there is pretty much all the kind of Manchester lot.
Yes.
Plus satellites, like.
Like me.
No, well, how do you say, like, I don't know, honorary members.
Friends.
No, honorary members, more than.
Yes, yes.
And Helena now as well. Anyway, yes, so we should all be covered in those documents, but the others need to add their details. Yeah. Thank you, Liz.
Sure.
Okay. I think then we're done for today.
It's good. Okay, have a good weekend, everybody. The sun is shining here. I don't think tomorrow it's going to. I don't think it's going to shine tomorrow. So go out and make the most of it now.
Yeah. Here it's
The
actually
sun is
also-
not shining here.
Is it not? Oh, okay, today's nice. No,
How's Manchester looking, Lorenzo?
That's pretty good. It is shining. Yeah.
I can see it's shining on. It's shining onto you. So.
It just never seems to shine in York. It's just always grey.
Okay. Anyway.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Miriam.
For the super effort.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a good weekend. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.